We just finished up our conference tournament. We took 11th out of 12 teams. Our highest placer was a 5th. We got a 6th and 2/8. Not exactly where we want to be. Um, you know, it's frustrating. Our conference has gotten a lot tougher the last 3-4 years. But we're just not there yet. We're working on it every day. It's my 6th year. I thought we'd be a little bit further ahead by now. And we're building. We're just not seeing the results on the mat yet. And the whole season's been a challenge. It's been a challenging year for me personally and just coaching the team. I thought we'd have a few guys a little further ahead than they are. And then, I've been dealing with my own challenges, my own inner demon kind of things. My family's growing. We had a baby over the summer, which has been fantastic, but it's more work, it's more responsibility, more expectation to come home to and father to. It's just more. I have some health issues I'm still dealing with. I haven't felt good in 4 or 5 months. I wake up kind of feeling sick every day, sick to my stomach throughout the day. Sometimes, so dizzy it's hard to get through the day, and then I have to go to practice. I've had to take a big step back as far as helping in the room, as far as like wrestling guys, showing moves, those things, just to give my neck a break. And that's been a challenge for me. I like to wrestle. I like to sweat. I like the rush. I like the endorphins. I like to exercise. I haven't really been able to exercise how I'm used to exercising. I've been focused on trying to rehab my neck and get feeling good again. And at this point, it just feels like it might never be good again. That feelings kind of, obviously that's scary. When I think about it, people say that to me all the time. Sounds scary. I just don't think about it that much. I just try to do what I can and get through that day. The thing that's scarier to me is that the team never gets better. When I got to the school that I'm at, we were an Elite 8 team in the state. A banner year for the schools. The team had been good for 20 something years, 25 years. One of the top teams in our conference, conference champion, individual conference champions every year, state qualifiers every year, that kind of thing. And, it really bottomed out about 2 years after I took over and trying to rebuild. And that's what scares me, is I kind of dedicated my whole life to this thing and wanting to take over a program. And, I had dreams of maybe taking over a program that wasn't doing well and rebuilding it and making it respectable and doing things the right way. And I'm trying to do that. It was just feels a little bit harder when you take over a program that's doing really well and it drops out on you, and then you're trying to rebuild kind of from nothing. And there's been other challenges that go along with that. So that's been scary. That's more scary to me is that the team will never rebuild, but we got the state series coming up, and I'm excited for our guys. I know the team's not where I want it to be, but from a result standpoint, but I love the guys that come out and compete for me, and compete for our school, especially with the lack of result success. And those guys keep showing up, and helps me keep showing up. You always have guys that quit. Wrestling's not for just not everyone makes it. You just don't make it, you know. And you know, I've endured my whole life, you know. And the thought of quitting never crossed my mind until maybe like the last year or two, and seeing how my guys are enduring, you know, lack of success, not winning, and they keep coming back on Monday, smiles on their faces, training their butts off, effort in matches. It keeps me coming back, keeps me excited. So I'm trying to use them to kind of help push me forward, and not let, hey, this lack of success or these health issues or other things get in the way of staying the course, and try not to focus too much on results. You know, to focus on the things you can control. You can't control your wins and losses most of the time. You know, you can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control how you train. You can control being on time. But you can't control going up against guys that are better than you. You don't know. You know, you got to learn from the situations when mistakes happen, and move forward. And I'm trying to do that. I'm learning there's some situations that are frustrating to me, and trying to figure out a way to improve those situations. And it just seems like there's no way to improve some situations. You just have to live with the unfairness of the world sometimes. And as a coach, that's harder to deal with than as a wrestler. At least in my experience, you know, there's things that happen outside the rules for wrestlers all the time, and you bite your lip and you move on, and mistakes happen, you know. I feel a lot less in control as a coach, and it's a challenge. I'm still learning every day. I feel like I get better at certain things every year, and you know, I wrestled for 10 years. This is my 13th year strictly coaching, and I feel like I'm still just a pup. I'm still just learning this coaching thing a little bit. So it's definitely a different game. It's a different ball game. You know, but I'm excited for my guys. Our best wrestler has had a challenging year himself. You know, he's taken more losses than he expected. He's had a tough schedule. He's wrestled tough guys. And I know it's been wearing on him mentally and emotionally, and trying to keep things light and keep him excited and keep him from getting overwhelmed has been a challenge, but he's risen to the occasion every week. And then we have some young guys coming up that are looking good. We have some other guys that are older and you know, are engaged and are hopefully learning that, you know, this offseason needs to be better than it was last offseason, and we got to finish strong here, and anything can happen. If you're doing the right things, you know, hopefully good things are going to happen at this time of the year. And we'll just see what happens. You know, we're going to train hard for the next 3-4 weeks and go out there and compete. And, you know, I have every confidence in all my guys that they're going to compete. So, you know, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been an easy year, you know. I think we still ended up almost, you know, about 500 in our dual meets, which is good, because for a few years in a row we won about 2 or 3 and lost about 18, 19. So going about, you know, 10 and 10. I think we went 10 and 11 this year, maybe 11 and 12, something like that. You know, it's big improvement, you know, but we're looking for more improvement in individual results at these tournaments here at the end of the year, and we didn't get it last weekend, and it is frustrating. So I just hope we can turn it around, and I'm talking long term, you know, turn it around. So we'll see what happens. A lot of the challenges we've had are, you know, there's kind of different themes you kind of see. I feel like I spent the last 3-4 years to, you know, just don't give up on yourself. That's been the message to, like, team up and down. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Don't get pinned. Go 6 minutes. Doesn't matter who you're wrestling. don't quit. You never know what happens, or you never know what's going to happen. And this year, at certain parts of the year, that hasn't been the issue. We're not quitting. We're fighting our butts off. And I feel like from a program standpoint, that's a huge step. You know, we're not worried about, are you going to go out there and lay an egg and just give up? We're worried about, okay, can we now understand the situation we're in and learn to wrestle in it? And that's been the challenge this year. And, you know, it just layers on layers of frustration, you know, going over kind of, hey, we're up by 2 or 3 with 30 seconds to go in the match. We haven't been hit for stalling. Stand in the center and circle. Take a hit. Take a stalling call. Take 2 stalling calls. You know, you don't have to take a huge risk. You know, if you're losing by 1 and there's 30 seconds left and the other guy has been hit for stalling, you need to go crazy. You need to give everything you've got in those 30 seconds. And we've been simulating it in practice, and it happened a few times over the weekend, and we didn't attack the situation how we've practiced it, how we've discussed it. And that's really challenging. And that's kind of been like the new theme. Like, okay, we're fighting. You guys are fighting. You're not quitting on yourselves. We believe in ourselves more. Now let's go out and understand the situation we're in and fight our butts off to close matches, to finish the right way, to score on people that are better than us, to hold off a win when, you know, we're up 3 or 4 with a few seconds left and we got a guy coming after us, to gut out a close win when we're losing in the waning seconds. You know, and that's something now that as a team we're trying to learn how to do. You know, hopefully we got 2 weeks before our regional tournament, and hopefully we can, you know, improve on that. So we'll see what happens at the regional and the sectional. And, you know, at the beginning of the year, or I should say last year, I made the goal that we're going to have 4 individual state qualifiers this year, and I still think we can have 4 individual state qualifiers this year. You know, but it's not going to be expected, and we need some guys to step up and do better than they've done all season. But I have every confidence that we can do it. You know, I just hope that that they believe in themselves too enough to go out there and get it done.